Hey there, YouTube. We're back for more of our Origins Bonanza Blowout coverage. We're here live at the Fireside Games booth, and we're about to learn all about monsters smashing in Kaiju Crush from Justin from Fireside Games. Hey Justin, what is Kaiju Crush?
Kaiju Crush is, excuse me, this is our game where you are a giant monster smashing a city for points, because that's what monsters do. The tiles are laid out, different buildings in the city are laid out in a grid. What we've got there is a 4-player game, so that's all the tiles. You use fewer tiles when you're doing it with fewer players, and monsters are going to start randomly on the city. There's 4 different monsters to choose from. They each have their own special ability, which is primarily combat-oriented. I'll get to that in a second. But on your turn, you have a couple of movement options. Those are going to let you smash buildings for points, and then if you land near or on the same space with another monster, you may fight them. So movement is interesting in that there are 5 movement cards in the game. Essentially, most of them are up, down, left, right. We've got a diagonal, and there's also one that lets you move like a knight in chess. You're limited to those movement cards based on the one that's in front of you, and then there's one movement card that's shared. It's always available to everyone. The trick is, if you ever use your own movement card, you have to switch it out with the shared one, so your movement becomes the new shared card. So the movement cards are going to get passed around that way. You'll be able to use them sometimes and not on other times. You'll have to make do with what you've got. So your movement's limited, and when you go, you're going to move, smash that city tile, you take it, it's going to be worth points at the end of the game. You put down your territory marker when it looks like your footprint. It makes a crater. The trick is, you can never go back to a space once it's been cratered. So as people play the game and move and smash cities, it gets harder and harder to move around. There are fewer open spaces to go to. If you land on a park, you get a second movement right away, so you can sort of bounce off of a park, and those are never claimed, they just stay in the game. You're also going to have a special ability that one time per game is probably going to let you bend the rules a little. Might let you maybe wrap around the edge of the board, which normally you can't do. Might let you go back to a smash space, things like that. Going to get all sort of advantages. Now, if you land next to another monster or on the same space, you fight. And that's done by using your territory markers, which are double-sided. One side has your claw, the other side has a series of symbols on it that are used in a sort of rock, paper, scissors variant, where, it's claw, kick, and tail all are sort of the rock, paper, scissors beating each other. Then we've got a deal where there's a fire breath card that trumps all 3 of those, beats all 3 of the basics. And all 3 of the basics beat the spiny back card. However, spiky back is the only card that beats fire breath. So it's an interesting mix on rock, paper, scissors. There's more going on than just that. Your battles are resolved real quick. You're going to draw 5 cards, have a quick 5-round battle. Whoever wins the most wins that battle. There are victory points that you'll get for winning a battle, and if you're on the same space as another monster and you're fighting them, if you win, you put your territory marker down, which means you may be able to take it away from another player, and that's important because there's 4 objective cards in the game, some of which are based on the layout of the board at the end of the game. Maybe you've got a line of 4 tiles, or you've got all your tiles in one big group, you'll get points for that. Those vary every time you play, so there's a lot of replayability in how it's getting mixed up. But that means that sometimes it's worth it to go attack a player to take that space away from them for extra points. So eventually, people aren't going to be able to move, the game ends, and you add up all your points from combat, all the points from all the city tiles, all the bonus objectives, and you see who is the best kaiju in the city. And that is pretty much how Kaiju Crush works.
All right, and it's coming out later this year?
This is going to be November 1st street date. We will have some copies at Gen Con, not many though. Come out early if you want some. And we'll have promo items for those too. So yeah, check that out. $30 price point on this one, and it plays 2 to 4 players, and it's about a half-hour game.
All right, thank you very much. That is the upcoming Kaiju Crush from Fireside Games. If you want to get your monster smash on, looks like a good way to do it. If you're enjoying this Origins coverage, please be sure to click on that subscribe button down below. And as always, thanks for your time, YouTube.